Good evening, viewers, wherever you are, and welcome again to uh, another interesting show. And today we have got a very important guest, and I will give you time to know my guest today. But good evening, everyone, and welcome to our show. I am Zalendo, and today we have a special guest here in the studio, and he's from Kakamega County. He has a very interesting name that I would want him just to pronounce him by himself, but I'll call him Willie for today. Willie is a lecturer. You'll hear more about him. And he's the party leader for Solidarity Union and Progressive Action, Kenya, Super Kenya. We are thrilled to have him here to discuss some of the pressing issues affecting our nation. And Willie, welcome to Afrik. And feel free and introduce yourself to the people of Kenya. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mzalendo. My name is Dotras Wilstick. It's not such a hard name, although people find it sometimes hard for the first time.
Yes.
And I'm a lecturer. I teach English and literature. I have background in project management, where I've worked with several organizations in which I got experience in how to mitigate some of these disasters and worked on several projects on poverty alleviation in difficult places, especially in some of the war-torn countries. And I'm so glad to be here this morning. As Zalendo has said, I'm also the party leader for Super Kenya. Super stands for Solidarity Union for Progressive Action, a new party that we are hoping that will be fielding candidates across the board. But I'm here today to talk about the current issues, maybe what is happening in Kenya right now, and what's basically uh, in Kakamega County. So thank you so much, Mzalendo, and I'm so happy to be on this great show.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Willie. And let's dive into today's discussion. We will be discussing the broad-based government initiative by President Ruto's latest cabinet recommendations, the issue of wastage in Kakamega County, and whether devolution is truly working for the people of Kakamega and the entire county. We have seen the latest Auditor General's report of 2024. And without further ado, Willie, please, I want you to comment on the hottest topic in town, and that is the recommendations by the president of the new CSs. We have seen Kabogo coming in into power once again. Mtai Kagwe, these are people who are recommended for cabinet slots. And what is your take on that?
I think the president has lost the script. And I'm not really against the appointment of those who have been appointed. But in his campaign, he really promised that he's going to consider the hustlers, the Mawambogas, and everything. So, in as much as he's trying to balance his broad-based, or what you call as the bread-based government, it is so much unfair for him to keep on recycling the same type of leaders who've been there and who've failed once and again. I know that he's trying to bring in Uhuru Kenyatta back to government through the back door, the way he managed to silence Raila Odinga by bringing his boys. I mean, let me call the boys because that's how they're behaving. But if the president would really have wanted to show that he really cares about what people are thinking, I think it would have been so much important for him to bring in new faces. Even if he was to bring in the Mount Kenya, because I know that what he's trying to do is just efforts to bring in the Mount Kenya, exclude Gachagua, bring in Uhuru Kenyatta through the back door by bringing his lieutenants, those like about the Kabogo guy and the Mutai Kagwe and the former governor for Laikipia. But all in all, I think that it would have been important for the president to look at some of the professionals. We have some young professionals, both in the Mount Kenya and the entire region, which would actually have brought into the government. Now, my own reaction now, especially given that the previous few months we've been seeing Musalia Mudavadi acting as the CS for internal security, which unfortunately has been
Mhm.
replaced by Murkomen. We know the story of Murkomen. Murkomen has been in three ministries within how many months. Well, I really don't understand what is so special about Murkomen. I know that they are friends. We know that he was in the ministry for transport when Adani came in. We know that they have a long history from the ICC up to this moment. But I think Murkomen is not so much fit to run the position for the internal security.
Willie, let me just ask you one question because I see this happening a lot in our country. I find somebody who is appointed the CS for internal security has got no background in security. I mean, these are just people who are picked, like
Mhm.
from somewhere and say, you're my best friend. Now I want you to, because I trust you so much. I want you to be on this particular docket. Do you think that the CS for internal security needs to have a background in security, or should have served in the military? As one of the qualification. Perhaps it is high time Kenya needs to look at who they appoint as the CS for internal security. What do you think?
I agree with you that the position for the CS of internal security should be given to a professional because this is a very, very important docket. This is the guy who's in charge of the entire security of the whole country. It's like the one running almost each and every sector of the country. So I think even if the president would want to politicize other positions, it would be so important that he makes this on a professional one by maybe appointing someone who has been the security docket, appointing a former maybe member of the military or even member of the NIS. People understand what security is all about. And I really, really disagree with this notion of people picking their friends, although it has been there since independence. We've been seeing presidents just pick their friends or people they can trust because of the fear that if you choose somebody who is powerful, it can easily maybe overturn you or go against you. But we should run away from making this this position a political position, and rather make it more professional by choosing people who are so much well versed in matter security. So that's
I,
my take on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is generally in such forums. If the president is listening, these are
Mhm.
the good advices that you need to follow, which are not biased. We don't really care who becomes your next CS, but we want somebody who merits the position.
Very true.
And I don't know why in Africa there's a lot of uncertainty and people are so scared of of the person who is going to hold this position. He has to be somebody who is very, very close to me. But apart from just the CS for internal security, we have seen a comeback of one Mutai Kagwe. Mutai Kagwe, remember, this is a guy who was in charge of COVID.
Hmm.
And this is the guy who also oversaw the KEMSA scandal.
Scandal, yeah.
Mm. What is your take on Mutai Kagwe and Kabogo coming in as Kabogo is recommended as the minister, the minister for information? Yeah.
So first of all, it is very, very sad that the president is recycling Mutai Kagwe. No, that Mutai Kagwe is a bad guy per se, but given his past, when he was leading the Ministry of Health, that's when we witnessed the biggest scandal in Uhuru's tenure. And I think that giving him such a serious ministry like agriculture, which has also faced a lot of corruption, corruption accusations in the past, and which actually is one of the backbone of Kenya's economy, is something that the president should think about again. And I really don't understand why he chose Mutai Kagwe for this position because even his background, Mutai Kagwe, it comes from the media industry. Mutahi Kagwe has got no experience in agriculture. Mutahi Kagwe has been having issues, especially when he was the minister for the health during Uhuru Kenyatta's government. So choosing him for this position is something that the president should reconsider. Now, speaking about Kafogo, I know that the president is really trying to balance the equation, the political equation in the Mount Kenya region. But I still believe that there are so many other positions you could have given Kafogo than giving him, recommending him for the position that recommended him for in this reshuffle. And I still insist that before these people are approved, if the president has the ear of the people, he should go sit down again and reconsider. We are not choosing anybody. We don't care where that person comes from. We don't care their tribe. Or we just say that let him try to professionalize the ministries and choose people that can help him to deliver his agenda.
All right, guys, we are discussing the current political formation, and we will dive again into the counties and see what is happening in various counties, especially Kakamega County, where Willie comes from. I know I can see about 100 people watching already. If you have not subscribed to our Freak, make sure that you have subscribed to our Freak. If you're watching us from our sister station Mtembei, please make sure that you have also subscribed to Afric 24 on YouTube, so that each and every time we have got these particular shows, you are able to participate and watch and discuss the future of your country. Now, there is a lot of speculations, Willie, that Uhuru Kenyatta is coming back. Somebody wrote that Uhuru has got a good share of the cabinet right now. What is the interest of the former president in the formation of a cabinet? What is his interest? I'm really trying to find out what could be the interest of a retired president in the cabinet of the current president. What could be the interest?
Yeah, maybe before I comment on the interest, I just like comment something about the former president. I think Uhuru Kenyatta is a guy who makes the wrong decisions at the wrong time all the time. When he doesn't care about the wave, this one is a businessman who is out to protect his business interests, and as long as his business is protected, I think he doesn't even care about his legacy or whatever happens thereafter. He's a guy we love so dearly. He's a guy who has done some good job, and I think his interest is he's trying to bring in, like I said at the beginning, they bring in these new faces. It's just Uhuru Kenyatta coming back to the government through the back door. And I think his interest is try to these my own thoughts. The first interest is try to protect his business, because he knows that if you go against the government, you easily have it tough, and your businesses can face that commission and all that. And we saw even when this government came into power, we saw what happened to his property. So I think he might have toned down and said, okay, the only way that I can protect my family is maybe by going down and working with Ruto. Although there are also rumors, let me call it as rumors, that the brother is also interested in a political position. Maybe we are going to see some other new changes as time goes by. That one is just a speculation. And by him coming back to the government through the appointment of his former friends, is a way of just trying to step back his foot into government and make William Ruto try to balance whatever he terms as regaining the Mount Kenya region. You know that the exit of the former DP, Honorable Gachagua, has created a lot of heat in the mountain, and the president, being the wise guy that he is, or a smart guy that he is, might be trying to pull all the ropes to try and balance and see that in the exit, in the event that Gachagua goes with half of the mountain, then at least he has to recapture some of the mountain using Uhuru Kenyatta and the few people that he has reappointed. So I think to answer your question, Uhuru Kenyatta's interest is just to safeguard his property, safeguard his legacy, and lead a peaceful retirement life without being followed by the government.
And now, maybe I might be speculating, because I think it is the establishment coming together, the political establishment. Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto now coming together to safeguard their power. I feel that these people feel a bit threatened, apart from
Mhm.
just trying to safeguard their property and interests. They feel threatened by,
Mhm.
the recent political development. I have said it time and again that the politics in Kenya will change and will change drastically with the movement that they saw with the Gen Zs and
That's true.
where we are moving in the future in terms of technology and in
Mhm.
terms of communication. This is where the news is. This is where the raw news is. This is where people will consume data, information like never before.
Mhm.
Information is no longer in the mainstream media. It is where young people are gathering on X Spaces, on TikTok, and you've seen the Kasongo cartoon caricature moving around each and every time. That is a lot of civic education and a lot of pumping of information that is going
Mhm.
on in the country at the moment. But now, back to my question. Raila Odinga supporters feel. I saw what Alai tweeted or
Mhm.
wrote on his Facebook page just immediately after Ruto's announcement that now they are going back to the opposition and they are going to work with Kalonzo Musyoka this time around. That is what Alai wrote. And that could be the feeling of the inner circle of ODM party or the Azimio wing of ODM. What do you feel? Is Raila shortchanged in this, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think just from the first statement that we made, the big boys are realigning themselves to protect their interests and safeguard their property. That's very true. That's also my speculation, but I think it's a fact. And back to your question, I don't think that the Raila Odinga group is being shortchanged. The only thing I think is that they are now afraid of facing the reality that they were never in the government. Yeah, they wanted to come and be there fully. You know, you enter somebody's house and you want to occupy everything, forgetting that
Mm.
there is somebody in that house. And when they came in, there was joy. They were dancing. We saw even the former governor for Mombasa warning us to keep quiet, telling us that nothing can happen online. And we even saw people that we have really respected, some strong voices, that voice of reason like Wandai and the crew, now singing to the Ruto's tunes, and that shows that actually both the government and those who are out of the government, majority of these political leaders lack a stand. They only sing your name as long as you can fill their cup. And a lie sometimes is a crybaby, but again, sometimes a lie also speaks for the major for those who are
You,
majority of
you
side.
you know what I like about Alai? Alai speaks his mind. He
Yes.
speaks what he feels like. When he is on this other side and he feels like it is our
Mm.
time to eat. He doesn't shy away from saying it is now our time to eat in the government coffers. Uh, and if they are shortchanged, he calls it out the way it is. He's one of the leaders that I see sometimes telling Baba, hey, hapana, this is now
Mm.
hapa tunaenda kuchomeka kidogo. Slow down on this. I see him trying to create a balance. Like he's not just a yes man,
Yeah.
but he's
Yeah. Yeah.
somebody who can look into things and analyze them the way they are. And that is what leadership is all about. You
Mhm.
don't have to agree with everything else that your political leader is saying, but
Very true.
you can use your common sense. I also like this other guy from is it from Tanzania? Amisi.
Caleb
Amisi.
Amisi.
Yeah, Caleb Amisi.
Mhm.
Caleb Amisi also speaks his mind, although he's a staunch Raila supporter. But
Mhm.
he sometimes wades off to speak his mind, although I feel that he's not really out of that inner circle of
Mhm.
pledging allegiance to Baba and loyalty to Baba full time.
Unquestionable.
He has got some question marks. The
Mm,
likes of Babu Owino, I think they have moved on in terms of politics. They have moved on to the next level, and they are now looked at nationally as a leader who can represent his constituency, which is the youth. So leadership is really progressing in Kenya in a way that we didn't expect. We didn't expect the emergence of Gen Zs. We didn't expect that Ruto is going to form this bread-based government. Yeah, for and it is something that Kenyans are talking about. And I'm glad you brought it out very, very clearly that we need to watch out. But Willis, let
yes.
me ask you: if you are a leader and you have an ally like Mount Kenya, would you just dismiss Gachagua like that? And if you came into power in a call like the two of William Ruto and Gachagua, would you
Mhm.
just dismiss and kick out your close ally like that
No, I
without
wouldn't. I wouldn't.
thinking?
I wouldn't do
Hmm?
such a mistake. I wouldn't do such a mistake because
Do you think Ruto is regretting? To some extent, I think he's regretting the move.
to an extent, yeah, to an extent, is
Hmm?
regretting. But
Hmm?
Ruto, being the man who doesn't want to be defeated, always thinks, okay, I did right. Like he can't accept that he actually this time he slipped by firing Gashagwa. He did the worst he could ever have done. And in as much as he might try to really quail down and try to make the mountain look at his side, I think it's so hard. I'm not being tribalistic, but patterns and history dictate that people from the mountain are rarely. It's so hard to convince them once they look west, just west. It's so hard to bring them back and tell them, oh, guys, let's look at this. So chasing away Gashagwa, in as much as Gashagwa was not an angel, but chasing him out of the government, yeah, is one of the worst historical mistakes that any ever sitting president has ever done in Kenya. I think he could, if he would have taken advice from people, he would have let Gashagwa run for the 5 years as the DP, and then thereafter he could have dropped him as he wanted and choose Kindiki. Although now, from just speculation, what people say, it is so hard to sell Ruto and Mount Kenya using Kindiki. It was so easy for Gashagwa because Gashagwa was so abrasive, and Gashagwa is like our lie. He speaks his mind. He's a man who doesn't shy from controversy. He's a man who would really want to fight you head on without mincing his words, and that's what politics were. But at this moment, again, like you just said, in the coming elections, the dynamics might be so different because these young people have discovered that it's not just about voting because our tribal leaders said so, but it's about issues, and it might be so hard for them to vote along the tribal lines. Although we have those who vote along the tribal lines, but it might be so hard again for them to go along that way. And I think, like just as you say, that the evolution of Gen Z, the Gen Z revolution, has actually changed the Kenyan political landscape, and we are hoping that as we are nearing the elections, things will become much different from what we've been seeing in the past. We are hoping to see such very civil rebellion against the political, especially the corrupt political elite, because young people don't even care about those stories we've been telling them. Oh, we shall be bringing chapatis at your home. We shall bring, I don't know, water showers in your houses. We shall be offering, I don't know, free water. The young man is just about how am I going to have that shilling in my pocket? Like, how am I going to improve my life with the coming of your government? So whether you bring, a railway station up to my kitchen, it doesn't add up if you don't tell me the value of that railway station. And that means that if this political, the top honchos like the Kalonzo and the Ruto wings, if they don't think big, we might be having a they might have faced so hard, especially to sell their agenda, because these people are no longer fools like they were. And back on the Gachagua issue, now many people don't trust the president. They believe that if you really suffer with this guy, This guy also spent a lot of money and campaign. He lost even his friends because of you, but you later on dumped him because you thought he's not worthy of your being your deputy. Then who can trust you? Who will trust you? And if nobody can trust you, then who will work for you or who will work with you? And yeah, this morning I was trying to somebody was discussing about the changes in the I mean the minister, the ministerial position, the CS positions. And somebody said that currently even given a position in this government is not as sweet as it used to be some time ago because almost all the rules are coming from number one. I don't know. I'm not a minister, so I don't know if it's true, but that's what somebody said. And if that's the truth, then you understand why it's so hard for even the president to know why people are rebelling against most of his policies. Yeah, and we've seen just maybe today they made digress a little bit. We've seen there is too much opposition to each and almost everything that he comes up with. He came up with the vaccination thing, which he can't actually tell us the impact in it. He
Hmm?
came up with the new taxation model. He has come up with the new university funding model. But you see that he is receiving too much opposition to an extent that he becomes so emotional and he can tell us whatever he told us in a public rally as a president. I think that was so low of him. And maybe he needs to get somebody to advise him if he can actually be advised. That if at all we have a country to run and you have a country to live for our children, then he has to do something. He has to
Really,
release.
this guy has got the best politicians around him. In the broad-based government, he has Raila Odinga on his side. He has his new cabinet appointment from ODM. People like John Mbadi, Opio Wandai, as Ali Hassan Joe. Do you think that these people are not advising the president in the right manner, or just as you said, maybe is too much hands-on.
Mhm.
In the Kibaki regime, we had got technocrats doing a lot of good work, and Kibaki let his CS's work. But you
Mhm.
are saying that the president wants to know each and every detail of what you are doing in your
Mhm.
ministry. So are these people feeling like what is the right word for it, like each and every time the president is not giving them a free hand to run the particular ministries that they are running, and they feel like they are being watched by every, because in each and every ministry there's a PS from a Kalenjin community. In each and every ministry where you have a different tribe, there is appears from his community.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
this is begs the question. If I have always said Gashago was tribal, that was the reason why he was kicked out. But
Mhm.
and Kenyans looking at the cabinet composition of William Ruto in the beginning, 90% were from his community. Isn't that tribalism? Is
It's
that
tribalism. It's tribalism, and he gives you. It's just like when you used to be at school, you used to have a prefect and an assistant prefect. So you are made a prefect, and then they give you an assistant prefect who reports directly to the head boy. So these assistant prefect is just there to see what you as a prefect you are doing, so that he can report to the head boy. So in short, the prefect himself is very powerless because the head boy is overseeing his department, the prefect's department, through the assistant prefect. And you realize that the way you've just said that even if they give you a senior position, a minister is just like a chairman of that organization. But you have guys, you have the real guy who's doing the work, that the PS, we just call them the PS. So if the PS is somebody different, this is the engine of the ministry. And the first question you asked, if the people from opposition are really helping the president. At first I thought, I was happy when I saw him mixing the opposition, because I say, oh, maybe Jesus Christ has visited our president and now maybe he has seen the light. I think he's bringing everybody on. But when I saw the kind of people he brought in Joho, he brought in Badi, he brought in Oparanya, he brought in Opio. Very bright guys, very intelligent guys. And then we gave them time and thought that maybe this one will work. After 2 months, Joho is really warning us not to talk about the president. Pio and I is doing the same. Oparanya is reminding us that he was against Filiza, but actually he was not against the president. So we see that we are in a situation whereby we cannot. Sorry about that. Sorry. Yeah. So we
Now,
are in a situation where both the president. Sorry.
now, Willie, I
Yeah.
always say that William Ruto, I
Mm-hmm.
supported William Ruto in 2022. And I can tell you, I had got a lot of hopes. Now, when the Gen Zs came in, they gave William Ruto a chance, a very good chance to appoint even there. You know, he has got the opportunity to appoint young people into the cabinet. Why is he not appointing these young people into the cabinet?
That's a very good question. It's the same question.
I'm just wondering, why is it
Yeah.
so difficult for William Samoei Ruto to appoint a young person into the cabinet, even two of them?
Yeah, and you see the people that he's appointing are the people that I think he can easily manage, he can easily control, he can easily, because he knows maybe one or two things about them. So the young people could be so much afraid to join the government because of what is happening. Maybe they might question him. So as a president, he thinks that the only best thing to do is to try as much as appointing these people that actually have got questionable characters and questionable pasts. Because if you look at the previous
Oh, well, we have lost you. You are hanging up. I think you are frozen. I can't hear you anymore. Maybe your internet is tripping. You can log in and log back to the studio. Viewers, if you have not subscribed to our, oh yeah, you hung up at some point, but
yeah,
yeah, you hung up some. Your internet was hanging up at some point, but I was just in. Trying to find out why it is so difficult for these leaders. I see it even in political parties where they cannot bring in young, fresh people who have not been in the political circles to run the affairs of political parties. Willis,
yes.
you have a political party. Tell us about your political party.
Oh, thank you so much, Zalendo. This is the best question I was waiting for. So our political party is known as Solidarity Union for Progressive Action. In it is initials that is Super SUPA, Super Kenya. And this is a party that has got the face of the government. I mean, the face of the country. Sorry, where we are having people from across the nation. We have got all the regions represented in that particular in that particular party. And our main aim is that we say that our slogan is "Fagia Ingare." Fagia Ingare simply aims at draining the swamp. There is too much that needs to be done. Kenya is not a poor country, as we all know. Kenya has got the resources. We have money, but the question is, where is all this money going to? We are borrowing loans every morning. You wake up, there is a loan of billions, not even millions. But when you ask, like, where has this money gone to, you cannot even get an answer. And you see, it's the young people. Of course, my party is majorly made up of young people, and it's these young people who are so much stressed out because they're the ones who are supposed to pay this loan and even their grandchildren and all that. So if we don't come together and say that is enough, bring in a new face, so that we don't keep on asking the same question like the one you are asking, like why is he bringing the new face, the old face, and all the time? If the young people are still waiting that this old political elite will bring in new faces, then they are mistaken. We might even go on and elect Kalonzo again. He'll still elect his friends. He didn't bring his friend back in parliament. We might even go back and choose whoever we want to choose. But as long as we are not changing the system, it's just like expecting different results. We're doing the same thing. So Super
Mm-hmm.
is a party that is bringing a new voice. We're bringing a new voice and new energy that is aimed basically to change the situation in Kenya.
What are
And
the
unlike
what are the initials for what is the full name? Super.
Super
It's
is
called.
Solidarity Union
Mm-hmm.
for Progressive Action.
Solidarity Union for Progressive Action.
Action, yeah. And our slogan is so simple, fagia ing'are. We just want to clean it, make it clean. Fagia tu ing'are, tunafagia, tunang'arisha Kenya mzima. And
Uh-huh.
we know that fagia ing'are. Yeah.
Super.
Super, yeah, super. SUPA.
Super Kenya.
Yes. Hmm.
So is the political party already registered? Solidarity Union for Progressive Action. Super, yeah.
Yeah. We are still on the process of registration, but we are almost there. That is
Mm-hmm.
why we are still at the we're not formatting, but we actually we are about 2 years old, but we are still at the process of registration. We are
Okay,
hoping that
viewers out there, this is the party leader of Super Solidarity Union for Progressive Action Kenya. This is a party for young people, and slogan yao ni fagia, clean up the
Ingare.
swamp. Fagia ing'are. So ukitafuta chama huko, ukichoka na ODM, ukichoka na Wiper, ukichoka na Jubilee, kuna vyama vingi sana. This is a new one, and Solidarity Union. I'm privileged to have the party leader for Super, and who is Dotras Will Stick. That is a name. It's a Greek name. So whatever happens, if I mispronounce it, hiyo tutakuwa na kesi huko mbele. But I hope I did well this time round. But
Yes.
party leader,
Yes.
umeona vyama mingi hapa Kenya
Uh-huh.
zinazingatia ukabila. Chama yako hii ya Solidarity, yani Super, ni nini ilikufanya hasa uanze chama?
Okay, kwanza nilikuwa na maono kwamba kunaweza kuwa na chama ambacho kitaunganisha Wakenya wote bila
Na pole, umekuwa kwa chama yote?
Mwanzo nilikuwa okay, mwaka wa 2022 nilikuwa mwanachama wa chama cha chama cha ndizi, chama cha UDA, we call him bananas because of the color, chama cha wheelbarrow.
Yeah,
Nilikuwa
wheelbarrow.
mwanachama huko, na yale yaliyofanyika yakafanyika, na tukaona kwamba kuna mambo mengi sana ambayo walikuwa wametueleza kwamba watayatenda, lakini hawakuyatenda. Alafu pia tukiangalia tunaona kwamba vyama vingi vinaanzishwa kwa msingi wa kikabila. Tunasikia kwamba chama hiki ni cha magharibi, chama kingine ni cha mlima, kingine ni cha mashariki and so on. So tukaamua kwamba tuje na chama ambacho kinajumuisha wananchi wote bila kujali kabila, bila kujali umri, bila kujali kule ambako mtu anatoka, kama kile ambacho mtu ako nacho. Na tukaona kwamba jambo la kwanza ambalo inafaa tuone ni kwamba tuanze kutazama, tuanze kuangalia Kenya from a different perspective. Tuache kukaa katika ile hali ya kufikia kwamba Kenya ni maskini na the only solution unaweza kuwa nayo ni kutaka export our watu. Unasomesha mtoto anafika form 4, akitafuta kazi serikali inamwambia okay, tuko na opportunity Saudi Arabia, uende huko na uende ufulie Mwarabu nguo. Mtoto ako na masters degree unamwambia opportunity tuko nayo ni moja, lakini uende Oman, uende ukue watchman. Sasa tukaona kwamba serikali inatuchezea, na wakati ambapo wanaanza ku appoint ministers, wanaona wamechagua Kavogo, wamechagua they choosing the rich people back into the system, na wale vijana ambao walipigwa, wengine wakaumia, wengine wakakufa wakipigania kwamba pengine watapata mamlaka. Tulikuwa tunaambia kwamba freedom is coming tomorrow, but it's so sad that this freedom has been so evasive mpaka hata tuioni. So for us to gain this freedom, we have to have a super union, and that's a super union that is not just a union, but one that focuses on the progress of this country. And when we speak about progress, we're not just speaking about enriching a few individuals. We're speaking about helping Kenya look at itself in a different dimension. We have money, we have resources, but how are you spending these resources? How are we Can we account for the money that we actually gotten from the laws and all that? Nikizaliwa mimi, najua wakati tulizaliwa other people in power, but I remember that we had companies such as Mia Sugar Company. I'm a beneficiary of Mia Sugar Company because ilinisomesha. I come from a very humble background. Watu wale wanajua hivyo kwamba kama sio Mia Sugar pengine hata singefika high school. So we could go to Mia Sugar because my dad had about 2 or 3 acres of sugarcane. Tunaenda huko tunaandikiwa check nachukua check napeleka St. Peter's Mia's Boys, inawekwa huko. Sasa hata kabla ya miwa ikatwe, so miwa ikikatwa hiyo pesa inatumika kulipa the school fees. And we have got many people who went to school through the same system. But now we no longer have Mia Sugar. We no longer have Kikomi. We no longer have those companies that were actually helping the young people. And the only solution that the government comes in and now, because even the one that is performing like Bamburi, the only thing you can do is say Bamburi sell it. Like the one that
actually... Ebu simama hapo kwa sababu wewe ni Mluya, unatoka Western. Mumias unapenda sana kuongea mambo ya Mumias. Nyinyi Waluya mnapenda Mumias sana. Mambo ya chai na sukari mnapenda kabisa, na maziwa na mkate. But ebu nikuulize tu swali moja. Hii Mumias Sugar serikali zote imeweka pesa katika Mumias Sugar. Zote, sio Kibaki, sio Moi, sio Uhuru. I think Ruto pia ataweka pesa pale. Hii pesa yote imewekwa, ni mabilioni ya pesa imewekwa katika hii kiwanda ya Mumias.
Very true.
And each and every time Waluya wanasema they want one of their own as the CEO wa Mumias. Now, this is the only junction where I agree with William Ruto. You might not agree with William Ruto 100% on certain things, but Mumias Sugar should be privatized. It is wasting government money. It is a waste of government money. If that factory can be privatized, then one, uzalishaji wa sukari, production ya sukari itakuwa ni nzuri. Farmers will be paid in time because a private investor wants efficiency. It will modernize the factory. What is this thing that Waluya wanaona hiyo kiwanda ni yao, yani we own, and yet there is nothing to show of it? What is the obsession with Mumias, with Luyas?
Okay.
Why can't you let it go and be privatized by somebody else? Ulete mzungu hapo, he turns the place around. Now, ebu angalia historia ya Mumias. Please just go back to the history of Mumias. The people who are running Mumias, who made sure that your father got the check upeleke shule, ni watu aina gani? And be honest. Be honest. Who are these people? And where are they?
Okay. Let me first of all remind you, Mzalendo, that Mias already has been privatized. It's no longer under government. Now, the main reason why we talk about Mumias is because even the privatization itself was so much political. Wameweka huko jamaa, kuna Muhindi huko wanafanya vitu zake huko. Sasa unaona miwa ingali hata 15 months old, unapata sukari ya Mia Sugar iko kwa stores, unashangaa sukari ilisiagwa usiku ama ilitoka pande gani? So I think where the biggest problem started ni wakati ambapo serikali legalize so many sugar companies within the same zone. Najua if you legalize so many sugar companies within the same zone, what happens that the supply of raw materials inapunguka. So when the supply of raw materials ilipunguka, and Mias iko na a very high capacity, ilikuwa na hata miwa tulikuwa na iko inatosha, but now sasa hata ile kidogo haitoshi, serikali inakuja inaweka pale ka West Kenya hapo karibu, na sio hapo wengine, kuna wengine hapo mbele. So like there's so many sugar factories within the same zone, all of them zinakimbilia the same amount of sugar cane. So hapa ndio wanasema our political leaders fail us terribly. Wale walikuwa they failed us terribly because they allowed it to happen. Wakisha ishafanyika hivyo, Mias ikishaanguka, they come and start making noise about Mias Sugar. Na why we are so passionate about Mia Sugar ni kwamba si kwamba we are owning it as lawyers, but because we know the value that it has done to our lives. Whether somebody else owns it, but pia uliuliza who was there. Kuna wale shareholders ambao wako hapo. Na is only the first time wakati walianza ku sell shares at the stock exchange when now things started going haywire in Mias. Watu wakakuja wakaambiwa wale walikuwa na mashamba wakauza share zao zote. So as we are speaking, we are not even shareholders, sababu waliuza share zote. So after selling the shares, now the management decided to do what it could do. And I'm not really pinning down anybody in particular because Mia Sugar is a big corporation. And as much as people really want to pin down the former CEO Evans Kidero, I think Kidero alone will not have brought down the company, because during Kidero's time, yes, usema kweli, the company was performing. It only started, it went down a minute after he had left. Ndio ikaanguka kabisa.
Yeah, I remember whatever Kidero was doing, but you could see Skari Mumias on the shelf of Nakumat. You could find Mumias in the shelf of Uchumi. So Kidero was doing a very good job. But after he left, they are saying, oh, Kidero is the one who made Mumias collapse. I think it's a big lie. And
It's because politics ziliingia mzalendo na kila politician huwa anatafuta mahali. Tukianza kupoint wale politician ambao maangusha Mia Sugar, I can write a whole encyclopedia. The people who wanaingia huko na lori wanatoka na magunia ya sukari wanatoka kienda nayo, and then how does it survive? Like and then this issue of walipiga mkono, serikali inapera na mkono wa left na mkono mwingine anachukua ya right. Sasa ni kama mnachota maji wa kichungi, and we still want to fake that water. That's why Mia Sugar unasikia there is even some money the government gave. There is even some about 200 million that the county government during Oparany's time allocated, pesa ambazo hazijakuwa accounted for up to this moment. Unaona? So kitu iliua Mia Sugar ni politics, bad politics, selfish politicians. Wale wanafikia kwamba as long as nimepata, I should not care about the other person. And yes, wao ni matajiri, but what's the benefit of kupita kwa watu 1,000 maskini ukiingia kwa bungalow yako? Like it doesn't, even if people come to worship you, cannot become Jesus, unaona? And that's the biggest problem that we've had as a region. So unaona sasa kwamba the only economic activity unasikia, ukitaka kusikia Kakamega unasikia bullfighting. Bullfighting itakupea pesa ngapi? Ukitaka kusikia ati sasa governor ameenda kulaunch project, governor ameenda kulaunch Mias, ameenda kulaunch football cup in Mia Sugar. Sasa you are like, this football whatever they are fighting
really, I need to be your deputy party leader. I think we think on the same line. But anyway, now we have moved to viewers. We have moved now to Kakamega County. You've seen that I've written there Kakamega. Willie is an aspirant, a gubernatorial aspirant for Kakamega County. Munamuona hapa is so passionate about the county. If you are out there, you are from Kakamega, and you are looking for a candidate who is going to represent your views. If you've got questions and concerns that you need to ask, then this is the right forum where you need to be to ask the right question. Moving on to Kakamega County, there have been concerns about wastage and mismanagement of resources. The Auditor General Report 2024 has highlighted so many issues about wastage in our counties. I don't know whether, Willie, you've come across the wastage in Kakamega County.
Yeah, and actually there is too much wastage of resources in Kakamega County. Despite having that lean budget as the governor has, despite having one of the few FCPAs that we have in the country as a governor, we have seen too much wastage of resources. Or what I also call as misuse of public funds. Pesa inakuja mzalendo, but kwa ground nobody's feeling that money. Unlike Oparany's government, tulikuwa naona kidogo anaweka kalami pale, anaweka kakitu pale. The current governor has got very little to account for his time in office. I don't know what the reason is. And the only thing inaweza kuambia yenye governor amefanya ambao tunakumbuka is employment of these marshals. Marshal ni wale watchman wake, wala security. That's the only that was highly publicized, and the guy came like a demigod and marched, and he felt so happy. So there is too much wastage of resources. The Ministry of Health in Kakamega. Sasa ukiingia kwa hospitali Mzalendo utashangaa kama ni hospitali ama ni mjengo.
Wewe unatoka Kakamega, unajua Kakamega hakuna ambulance.
Yes,
ambulance hamuna.
Hakuna ambulance. Hapo ambulance ilikuwa za zile deal yenye Oparanya alienda into na wale jamaa wengine wale wakakuja kutukopesha ambulance. Red Cross, yeah. So I was questioning this, like why couldn't just the county buy the ambulances? Yeah.
Angalia ujinga wa Mwafrika ati analipa 70 million every month to Red Cross na he can't buy an ambulance. Na una 10 years.
10 years. Akishatoka hivi zimekuja zimechukuliwa zote.
Sasa wewe kama governor mtarajiwa. Hivi ndio vitu watu wanalia hapa nje. It's not only in Kakamega. In the county where I come from, they are playing some stupid football tournaments. They put a budget of in the county they put a budget of 400 million for a soccer tournament to uplift the the sports in the region. Yeah, and look at what 400 million can do. They start a factory, they dump it there, and then they put money on the sports, hoping that hao vijana watacheza mpira sijui mpaka lini. Wameweka 400 in a county where the MCAs have put a budget of 4 million for their offices, and the ECD classes they have put a budget of 1 million.
So 400 million goes to sports.
Yeah, and 400 million goes to sports. And the area MCA comes and tells you, nimeleta tournament yangu hapa, ni tournament mzuri. You'll see that in the village a lot this December. Those leaders, yeah, nimeweka tournament. But if you go to the county budget, they have put 400 million as for sports. That money is not even theirs. They are wasting our money. And the sad part about it, Willis, is that William Ruto's government has increased allocation in the counties right now. There is an equalization bill that has passed into law. Each and every county will be getting 23 billion Kenya shillings.
It's too much money.
23. Yet hizi bado wanaiba bado hizi 10 billion hii wanaiba. Sasa hizi 23 billion. Sasa wewe kama governor mtarajiwa wa Kakamega, ongea na watu wako, uambie sera yako na what you really want to do for the people of Kakamega.
Thank you so much, Mzalendo. Now, watu wangu wa Kakamega, it's evident kwamba mnaona kwamba kazi haifanyiki. Wamama wetu wanakufia kwa maboma because hawawezi afford kwenda kwa hospitali. Ukienda Kakamega Provincial Hospital pale hakuna hata dawa. Unakaa kwa hospitali, you have even to go, unanua hadi pamba ya kuja kusaidia mama yako ambaye amejifungua, unanua hadi pamba. Zile madawa watu wanapeana kwa ni Panadols. Si kwamba tuna staff iko. Lakini staff wenyewe hata wale wanafunzi ambao walikuwa wanafunza hapo, walikuwa wanajifunzia hapo, who supporting the current staff, walitolewa. Why? Because money that was meant to do that tuliambiwa kwamba hakuna pesa. The irony is that mnaambiwa hakuna pesa, na juzi mlisikia watu wa Mia Sugar wakisema kwamba the governor and the county government imeenda kufieka Mia Sugar na kupaka rangi at 20 million. So I'm just wondering what this 20 million could have done in those dispensaries that are in Kakamega County. Governor Oparanya worked so much on infrastructure. We have seen it. But now infrastructure without food in the pocket. I was expecting that the current government itakuja na ifanye nini? Ianze kuangalia maslahi ya employment na generation of income ya wananchi. It is so sad that despite being a county that consumes too much ugali in the county, we don't have even one single factory ugali. The only thing we are having there is like we are even buying flour. Despite Kakamega having been a granary for Kakamega for the county for a long time, right now mboga tunakula Kakamega inatolewa Limuru. Zile mayai tunakula Kakamega zinatolewa Uganda. So as the incoming governor, I'll put a lot of resources on what we call as smart agriculture. I want young women, young children, young men and women to come up with the policies, programs in agriculture, in agroeconomy that's our idea to raise money. Because agribusiness works, especially the smart technology. We've seen an example of this guy in Kitengela who is having what called the horizontal fish ponds. Anatengeneza fish ponds ikienda juu, anatoa samaki hapo akiuza. Kakamega has the best weather. Kakamega has the best fertile soils. So in as much as we are having population inaongezeka, so tunafanya subdivision ya mashamba kwa wingi, but we can still come up with the projects ambazo zitasaidia wa vijana. So my main aim is ensuring that each and every sub-county has an income generating activity so that we don't just depend on politicians. I know they'll come with money, wanakuja na mapesa, lakini pesa ni yetu sahihi yenye haifanye kazi. Remember every time that when your patient dies Kakamega because of medicine, kuna pesa imewekwa ya campaign. Remember every time that when that child cannot access ECD because ECD haina milango, ile pesa ECD inakuja kugawia wakati wa campaign. Remember that those marketers ambazo ziko hapo na hazijaona maji hata siku moja, the main reason is because the money meant for that water has been diverted. Mliambiwa kwamba mtaletewa maji kwa mlango, and I'm so sad to say that wanasema they'll bring water like the water project, but instead of giving people water they are going to drill boreholes at the marketplaces. So how do you expect my own grandmother to walk from my home kwenda shamba kwa borehole ama anywhere na borehole kwenda kuchota maji kwa kichwa arudishe kwa nyumba na mwambie kwamba umeletea maji kwa mlango? These are something she has been doing since she was born. Alikuwa anachota maji huko kwa nini, what you call as Severian, alikuwa anachota maji vizuri sana. So telling us that you are going to bring this and you're not bringing it, and even there is a CS, a water CS who went on radio and said that she could not give us water because she believed that people cannot afford it. So people are surprised. Why are you giving us electricity when you're not giving us water? If you can afford electricity, why can't you afford that water? And it's always good to have a government that responds to your reasons, to your problems. If you choose like elect somebody ambaye hata hajajua kwamba kukaa njaa kunakaa namna gani, somebody who doesn't, when you tell that I'm so hungry, anashangaa. Some of us, me included, we have a background, and hii ni background ambayo it is the same background like the one you have. Yeah, wale ambao tunatoka in the sugar zone, unakumbuka kwamba the only thing we could survive on is sugar cane. Ukule miwa asubuhi, uende shuleni, urudi jioni, ukule kwa kamiwa, ulale hivyo, asubuhi uamke hivyo. So we understand when somebody says kwamba anaumwa na njaa, and we have been through the system, we are self-made. Utasema kuna mtu alienda mahali sijui akaniweka mahali ama kaka ni hapana. So I understand how it feels. And we know that we are going to have too much noise against us. We know, we are ready for that. But the one thing that I'm telling the young people is that it's the highest time that we defined our future. Or we can only define our future if we really mean it. And the only way of defining our future is by investing in people who understand how you feel, and people can actually listen to you, and people can work for you. And anaongea sasa ni gavana wako mtarajiwa, na tunakuja ground. When time comes, she'll come and tell you what you're supposed to do. But this being our first interview and our first introduction, I just wanted you ujue kwamba tunajua kile kinaendelea na tunajua kile ambacho tunaweza fanya ili tubadilishe kile ambacho kinaendelea. We are not God, we are not promising heaven, but we promise that if you trust us, then we can trust you with a very, very beautiful future. Kakamega should shine again. And the way Donald Trump used to say, we are going to make Kakamega great again. So instead of Maga, tunakuja na Maka. Make Kakamega great again.
Maka.
So much,
all right. Oh, that was a good one, Wills. That was a good one. I mean, if I was a voter and just listening to you, I would vote for you without even thinking that hey, huyu jamaa ile kitu amesema, he really means it. But you see, politicians have got these sweet words, and you are one of them. You craft words very, very sweet to entice everybody else. Lakini ukishapata hiyo kiti hivi, umesahau wale jamaa walikupigia kura bwana. Sasa unaongea na kiburi. Unaongea na kiburi. Unaongea kama Ali Hassan Joho ama wengine wale naona. Unajua, one, I think people need to be servant leaders. And your people need to guide you to what they really want you to do for them, because that is what is in the Constitution of Kenya. The public participation, which should be done effectively, and not a few people coming in together and say that we have decided this in our ward or in our constituency. Now,
Mhm.
mheshimiwa, there's a problem. Yes, umeshaingia kwa kiti now,
That, uh,
umeshapata kiti ya governor wa Kakamega. Majority of the people that who are going to oversight you are members of your political party, are members of your political movement. How will you? How will they oversight their political leader?
that's a very, very good question. And in our parties, if I could have shared with you the organs that are there, is that the party leader does not hold the veto power like in other parties, whereby tunasikia kwamba chama ni mtu, hapana. So the party leader is just a representative of the party and is bound by the laws of the party. And there is an NEC, there is a governing council of the party that can summon you, whether you are the president, whether you are the governor, or whatever. If you go astray, if you go against what the party wants, there is an allowance that once there is a vote of 50 plus 1 in that particular council, or rather the majority, the simple majority, they can easily remove you from the position of party leader. And this one was, we did that intentionally to avoid this personalizing of the party, whereby party inakuja na jina ya mtu alafu inagwama ni hivyo, mtu anakuja anasema kitu yote, and you guys, because you don't have a voice, mnanyamaza na katu hivyo. So we wanted to make it more servant people. I mean, a servant oriented, but you are serving the people. As I'm serving the party, I'm also serving the people. So I'm also supposed to live by the agreements of the party and also according to the Kenyan constitution. Therefore, our party allows people to monitor us as the leaders and even remove us from office if we go against the rules and regulations.
Yes, a good answer. And my next question would be the reason why I asked you this is because I know of a political leader, party leader of Homa Bay is called Gladys Wanga, who is a political leader now of ODM party.
Mhm.
She will be vying for the gubernatorial race in the same party. Now, majority of members who are going to be elected are members of his political movement, hopefully, of
Mhm.
ODM. So you wonder how they are going to oversight their political leader as the governor. So, Kenya tuko na mchezo zingine mingi sana. We are jokers, a complete joke. Yeah. So how will you oversight your political leader?
Yeah, it's a big challenge actually.
It's impossible. Hizo ni vitu zingine, yani unaangalia hivyo unacheka tu, yani these guys they're just
Mm.
messed up. Now, mheshimiwa, political parties are formed to grab power. They are the presidency and all
Mm.
that. You have
Mhm.
started with the gubernatorial race. I have
Mhm.
seen people like Morara starting with the Inject Party starting with the presidency. Why go for the governor's seat? Yet you have a political party and you are not aspiring to be the president of the Republic of Kenya.
Thank you so much. I really, I like being realistic, and yes, I would really have loved to run for the presidency of this country. But first of all, I want to give Kenyans a chance to test me with a lower position. If they see that I fit, then I can go for the bigger position. And sometimes being realistic and living within the your means and expectations is something that prepares you for any eventuality that comes, depending on the circumstances that shall happen in future. Running for presidency right now uh, is a tall order in Kenya. That's a fact. Is a tall order in Kenya, and people really want to know what kind of a leader that they are voting in. Kenyans are so cautious now. Kenyans are very cautious. Of course, they'll start to evaluate. They say, this guy, you are here. You've done us proud by doing this and this and that. You have given us a model county or a model constituency. Then we can also look at you as somebody who can change this country. Other than just going there for political rhetoric and maybe for publicity stunts, and then in the end, there's nothing that comes out of it. But that doesn't mean that our party will not field a presidential candidate. According to our rules, where our constitution is so different from other constitutions, that being a party leader does not automatically endorse you for the presidential position in our party. Yeah, you can be a party leader, but we nominate somebody else to run for the presidential party. So our party is still going to field people in all positions across the country, including the presidency. But I, as myself, as a Dr. Wilstick, have my eyes focused on the ball. I want to make Kakamega a model county, and by the grace of God, it shall happen.
Wow. People in the diaspora are listening to Dotra's will stick, and I hope that you've learned a lot about Kakamega County, and there is ambition and aspiration as a leader who really wants to bring change in Kakamega. Remember, the health sector in Kakamega is really doing poorly. They don't even have an ambulance right now. I don't know whether they bought one yesterday, but this is what people like the senator is called, the Alboni Alwale. Instead of running bulls in Bukungu Stadium, they need to find out a way. When somebody is injured during the bullfight, they can be rushed to the hospital using an ambulance and not in the back of his Prado. So we need to look at leaders who are going to bring change in our country. And Willie is open to negotiations with like-minded political leaders. I hope so.
Yes.
I always tell my guests here, especially those who are running for president, that you need to be open so that you reach out to Okiom Tata, reach out to people that you can work with, people with the like minds, people who can also elevate you to the next level as a leader. So you learn a lot from others too. And that is why we have Afrique 24. If you are out there and you are aspiring to be a leader in your county, in your ward, as low as the ward, I've hosted ward representatives here, and now I'm hosting governor. Tomorrow this week I think we might be having Morara on the show as the presidential candidate. So that is what we are really looking up to. And we are looking for a good leadership in the country. If William Ruto, you have got time, you can also come to Africa. I'll be gladly host you here in Africa, ask you the right question, make you feel comfortable, and tell you where your government is going wrong and why people are telling you Ruto must go. Now, we take a short break. When we come back, Mheshimiwa, I want you to give your passionate appeal to the people of Kenya and to the people of Kakamega, even as we wind up this show this evening. Kunywe kikombe cha maji kidogo. Well, welcome back again to Afrique 24. And here again, we have our guest, Honorable Dotras Will Stick. And thank you, Anthony Kimani, for tuning in. Charles Ashika, asante sana kwa kukuja hapa Afrique 24. I hope you have subscribed to Afrique. And many others who are viewing us from other platforms, Tembei and True TV and Leo TV. Please make sure that you have subscribed. Leave a comment for Willie to reply and respond to your comment on Afrique. Now, Willie, as even as we wind up this particular edition of Afrique, this is the first time I am hosting a member of Kakamega County and a gubernatorial aspirant. I am very, very privileged and honored to have you here on Afrique 24 as our premier show. Remember, we are going to go on all the 47 counties and ensure that we have interviewed the MCA, we have interviewed the senators, especially those who are aspiring candidates who are going to bring hope and the change that we want in our country. Willie, please give your closing remarks on this particular show. We have done almost 1 hour and 15 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mzalendo. First of all, I want to thank you for giving me a chance to appear on a Freak show. It has been a great honor to me interacting with great minds like you, and I know that you've been able to reach out to people from across the globe, not just Kenya alone. And I feel so much honored to be on this platform at this moment. For the rest of the country, I just want to remind Kenyans that Kenya is ours, Kenya is our home, and we shouldn't let it be run by a few individuals who wake up and do what they think they can do, forgetting that the power is in the hands of the people. I would want us to reactivate our power. I want us to exercise our power because we are the sovereign and you have the sovereign power. Let us not just leave our fate. Let us not leave the lives of our posterity just in the hands of a few individuals who wake up and to divide Kenya like a piece of cake. We have a say on what should be done, and it's the first time and the highest time that we raise our voices. Back to my people of Kakamega, ingoni ingo, kwitsahola magoa, eshalo shila chenja, abana balasoma nakandi kumanye mbu ata bwame babulindi ungwa obulindwe konde shindu munda. Sorry so much Mzalendo for going to the local, but I was telling them that they should also be
I
aware.
love that. I love that. You can go on and on. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So they should be aware that it's not just about what you've been assuming, because things change, and when things change, you should always be ready to change. Na watu wa Kakamega, watu wa Ingo, tushikane mikono, tubadilishe maisha yetu, tuangalie kwamba tunasaidia aje watoto wetu wanapokuja wapate kwamba kuna chakula kwa meza. Tusikufe kama watu ambao wamekufia nje. Let's die reasonably. Let's die respectfully, like tusimame on our legs. Let us create a community that shall have a future, because as we have known, Kakamega has been the granary ya Kenya for a long time. We are not beggars, we are not poor, and we should not allow ourselves to become poor. And as we have seen the changes in the leadership, this honor goes to the entire Western Kakamega, Western County, I mean. We have to change the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers have been there for a long time, lakini hatujaona manufaa. Tuliambiwa walipewa 30%, which we never saw it streaming down to us. So if we don't change it, despite of our big numbers, tutabaki tu hapo tunaambiwa kwamba Moliwa lazima akuwe watchman, Moliwa lazima akuwe mpishi, Moliwa lazima sijui afanye vitu gani. So it's the highest time that tukuje tuambie wale ambao walikuwa gatekeepers wetu, Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi, Mheshimiwa Wetangula, tuambie kwamba kazi wamefanya imekuwa nzuri, lakini you cannot remain on, however good a dancer you are, you cannot remain on stage forever. It's the highest time wakae chini kidogo, pia sisi watu wengine waingie kwa stage, tuone who will be the best dancer. We need change, and not just change for the sake of change. We need meaningful change, and trust your change in the son of Mwalimu Joseph Mukola, I and I, daughters, will stick. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was a good closing remark. I mean, a dancer knows the right time to leave the stage when they are done. You forgot to mention Atwoli, but we'll talk about him next time. What he's doing with the Kotu movement. I think it's been a disgrace. Otherwise, thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Willie, for joining us and sharing your valuable insights on these important issues. It's been an enlightening discussion, and we appreciate your candidness and expertise in answering some of the questions that were put out here. And as your host, Mzalendo, thank you very much for tuning in and being part of the conversation. As we have heard today, the path for progress requires transparency, accountability, active participation from all of us. Let's
Yes.
stay informed, engaged, and committed to making a positive difference in our communities. Until next time, stay safe, stay take care, and good night. And make sure that you tell your friends about Afrique. If they have not subscribed to Afrique, follow us on YouTube, follow us on our X page, follow us on Facebook, Afrique 24. We will be coming to your county very, very soon. Otherwise, thank you very much. And here in Virginia, it's a good night, and in Kenya ni asubuhi. Saa hizi hata hapa pa imeshafika 2:30 a.m. in the morning.